Greetings, everybody. Welcome to our program. I am Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
It's our literature unit for the month of March, and we're going to be talking about a young reader's novel. So you don't have to have a great English reading ability to be able to understand this book. We'll talk about it today. We'll summarize the plot, and then we're going to encourage you to actually maybe try to read this book yourself. And the book is entitled, One of Us is Lying. That's not true among us. We're telling you the God's honest truth.
We always tell the truth.
Exactly.
These are one of my favorite kinds of books, though, the whodunit books. A whodunit is a novel where the reader is trying to solve a crime. So some crime happens. Usually it's a murder because that's a bigger type of crime than, say, someone stealing your purse at school or work. So it's a whodunit, which is bad English, as you know, but we use this term to talk about crime novels, especially famous old authors like Agatha Christie. She always wrote, these whodunit novels. I kind of enjoy them. Try to see if I can figure it out before the book tells me who did it.
Right, you want to find out who has done the crime, who has committed the crime, so it's shortened to who done it, and then we spell done, D-U-N, and then it's all scrunched together as one word, who done it. Did you go see that latest movie? Yes, it's a who done it. It's like a detective movie, a mystery, something like that. So today we're going to be solving the high school who done it, and One of Us is Lying, so let's find out what this book is all about. Let's read the first part, and then we'll come back to talk about it. Five students at Bayview High are put in detention for having phones in class, though the phones found on them aren't theirs. Simon, one of the students, runs the school's gossip app. During the detention session, he drinks tap water from a cup and has an allergic reaction that proves fatal. The other students, nerdy, ambitious Bronwyn, baseball star and prom king Cooper, popular but insecure Addie, and troublemaker Nate, are shocked, but worse things are to come. An anonymous source starts sending out emails from Simon's gossip app claiming to have killed Simon. What's more, this unknown writer implies they were in detention with him that day. Which of them is the murderer? The police begin an investigation and discover an unpublished post on Simon's profile. It discloses secrets about all four suspects, alleging Bronwyn cheated on her chemistry tests and that Cooper has been using performance-enhancing drugs. What's more, it claims Addie cheated on her boyfriend Jake with one of his friends, while Nate deals drugs around Bayview. This gives each student a motive for committing the murder. Killing Simon would prevent the rumors going public and ruining their lives, and potentially their entire futures. Then, the mysterious person behind the emails publishes Simon's post, revealing the rumors. Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, and Nate are now the center of attention as even their friends start to wonder. Did they do it? As the rumor spreads, the media gets involved and the four suspects become front-page news. The exposure and the police investigation force the four of them together. Not one of them fully trusts the others, but they all trust the police even less.
So to remind you all, we are going to be studying this novel called One of Us is Lying for our literature unit for the next couple of days, next 3 days. So let's take a look at the title, Solving the High School Whodunit. In One of Us is Lying, we talked about whodunit, what it means. It's a very popular way of just talking about a mystery novel or some sort of thriller where you're trying to figure out something that's not being revealed. I like those kind of books and movies. To solve just means to figure something out. And if they're in high school, for us in the United States at least, that usually means a 4-year school or a 3-year school. Where I grew up, high school was from 10th grade, sophomore year, to my senior year graduating. What about you, Tom? Did you go to a 3-year high school or a 4-year high school?
Well, it became a 4-year high school the year I started it. Before that, it had been a 3-year high school, but they changed the arrangement of the schools in my hometown. They made a middle school out of part of the elementary school and the junior high school. So the junior high school was eliminated and people from middle school went straight to high school in 9th grade. So here, of course, it's a detective story that takes place in a high school, and 5 students at Bayview High are put in detention for having phones in class, though the phones found on them aren't theirs. Interesting. Now, of course, we have a way of disciplining students if they behave badly, if they're naughty, if they do something bad in school, then they get detention, which means they have to stay after school, usually in a room. They have to be quiet. They're probably going to study there, and there's a monitor there. Some teacher there will make sure that you don't try to leave or something like that. So in this particular case, these 5 students are serving detention, or they're put in detention, and they're being punished for having phones in class. I guess that's against the rules in the classes in this particular high school, which, by the way, is called Bayview High, which by coincidence happens to be the name of the high school that my mother went to in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But I think that's just a coincidence here.
That's interesting. Now, we can get detention. I got detention is what we usually say. The verb for this, just so you know, is detain, D-E-T-A-I-N. But when we talk about detention for bad or naughty kids, we never say, I was detained. We do say it, though, when police stop you and question you for a while. You're not put in jail, but they want to ask you some questions. The police detained me or detained him. So they were put in detention, and weirdly enough, the phones that they did have on their persons, their bodies, maybe in their backpacks or purses, they weren't even theirs. So somebody has switched out their phones. Simon is one of these students that got detention or was put in detention. And he runs the school's gossip app. This is very high tech these days. If you have a school gossip app already, someone's able to program these, or maybe Simon has a lot of money and paid a computer programmer to design an app for them. When you gossip, you casually talk about people who aren't there. You can say we were talking behind their back, which isn't very kind. Gossip sometimes is true, but it's not very nice to spread gossip about someone who has had some misfortune or some trouble in their lives. Sometimes gossip is false. It's not even true, and that happens a lot in high school especially. Kids gossip about each other just to be mean.
Indeed, and of course, you've got gossip in Hollywood gossip.
Oh, yeah.
Here in Taiwan, of course, you've got gossip involving celebrities and things like that.
Always.
But in this particular case, this student here, Simon, has set up an application, an app that deals with gossip in the school. I guess people can post information about who's going with who and who broke up with who and what student is being punished by a certain teacher or something like that. So that would be all part of gossip. And during the detention session, he drinks tap water from a cup and has an allergic reaction that proves fatal. Oh, that does not sound good. So, of course, a session is just a period of time in which something takes place. So this is a detention session. When we do voice recording jobs, we have recording sessions, a period of time in which we are doing voice acting and things like that. So in this particular case, this is the time that the students are spending in detention after school, maybe for 1 hour or whatever.
For detention, yeah, I never got it. We won't ask Tom, though. I'm sure he was good, too.
Boys almost always get detention at some point, yeah.
Well, girls do, too. I just was really guai when I was growing up. Now, you can also use session to talk about things like a workout session. For example, maybe you belong to a gym, and if you go to gyms, they want you to pay for your personal trainer. Well, you could say, well, I paid for 5 workout sessions with a trainer at my gym. So we use it for that as well. And as Tom said, it's just a period of time that you do something. These are detention sessions, and you hope you don't get those growing up, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you just make your teacher mad, and some teachers are very quick to give you detention. Now, moving on, it says Simon, who was in the detention session with the other kids, he drinks tap water from a cup. Tap water is just water that you get from a faucet. It could be from a bathroom, just turning on the bathroom tap and using that water. Sometimes I like to boil my water first if I just get it from a tap here. It's safer that way. But he drinks water that's coming from a tap, and he has an allergic reaction. Allergic means something is bothering your body that it's allergic to. Usually you have allergies, and they usually have something to do with grass and flowers and trees. I'm allergic to dust, mold. Rainy days, I'm somehow, allergic to that. It's hard. People are allergic to a lot of things. You could be allergic to things you eat. Now, notice here we have two ways of saying this. I have allergies, or I had an allergic reaction to something. But you can't say, I have an allergy reaction. No. Allergic is an adjective, so you need to use that with another noun. I had an allergic reaction to something.
Right, so why are you sneezing? Well, I have an allergy, or I'm allergic to something. A lot of people are allergic to peanuts, for example. So if they come in contact with peanuts, they will have an allergic reaction, which could actually prove fatal.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one.
And to prove fatal here doesn't mean they're proving it on the test or something so that someone will believe them. Here, prove just means that is the result of something. It results in a fatality. Simon actually dies from this allergic reaction. So that's not good. Sounds like maybe the water was poisoned or something.
Yeah, so if you see this word fatal, it means someone has passed away, someone has died. So we're going to talk about what goes on in this particular detention session, who some of the other players are, the students that we're talking about. But first, we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天开始连续3天这个文学单元要带大家看一本蛮红的小说，叫做《看谁在说谎》 One of us is lying。 好，那么我们当然要看这个小说的时候一开始就要先介绍人事时地物事情什么样的经过。所以你看我们在第一段第一句的地方就看到关键地点湾景高中 Bayview High School， 人5名学生 5 students。什么事情他们因为课堂上持有手机，然后就被留校了。虽然后面的情节是发现说身上发现的手机其实根本就不是他们的。好，那么接下来就要针对这个5个主角做介绍咯。其中一个学生叫做 Simon 他是经营这个学校的一个八卦应用程式 Gossip App。 而且在留校期间很关键的是 Simon 死掉，为什么呢？他从杯子里面喝了自来水，然后就出现了那种很致命的过敏反应，就死了。我们看一下第一段第3句这个地方，在第3句最后面我们看到一个限定用法的关系子句，先行词是致命的过敏反应 an allergic reaction， 那么后面的关系子句从 that 一直到最后面 that proves fatal 是限定用法的关系子句，也就是说喝了自来水以后，然后就剧烈的这个过敏反应，然后人就死了。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Let's continue with our lesson. Okay, we're talking about our featured novel for the month of March, One of Us is Lying. It's taking place in Bayview High, and we've got 5 students, and they are serving detention in a detention session. Now, Simon is the kid who runs the school's gossip app, and during detention, he drinks water from a tap or from a faucet, and then he has an allergic reaction. It proves fatal. So I guess you could say it's a fatal allergic reaction. He dies. And the other students, which we'll describe now, the other students are nerdy, ambitious Bronwyn, baseball star and prom king Cooper, popular but insecure Addie, and troublemaker Nate, are shocked. So the other students are shocked, and we've listed who the 4 other students are. Bronwyn is a girl, by the way. She's kind of nerdy, but she's also ambitious. She wants to get ahead. And then, of course, Cooper is a jock. He's a baseball star, and he was the prom king, the king of the promenade. I think they just usually call it the prom.
We just say prom, yeah. No one says promenade anymore.
But I think technically that is what it is. But yeah, nobody actually says the full word. And then we've got Addie, who is popular, but insecure. And then we've got Nate, who is a troublemaker, somebody who likes to cause problems for people, maybe just for fun.
Well, I would have to say I would probably guess that Simon wasn't a very nice person because he ran the school's gossip app. And usually, not very nice people are involved with a lot of gossip all the time. You know, they feel like that makes them, well, it does give you power. That's true. So anyway, he has bit the bullet. He's gone. He is dead. So we're going to learn more about these other characters because they are all involved with this murder of sorts. So like Tom said, if you're nerdy, I wanted to mention nerd is the noun form. You can say, oh, he's such a nerd, or I'm such a nerd. But if someone's nerdy, that's the adjective form. And of course, if you're a prom king, you're pretty popular because people have to vote for you at the prom. We vote for the person we think is usually it's the most handsome, popular athlete that gets voted to be prom king. And then a cheerleader who's beautiful and popular gets voted to be prom queen. Things can change. Some schools are nice and they vote in kids that just need some attention. If you're insecure, you just don't have a lot of self-confidence. So Addie's probably very pretty. She's probably successful, but inside, you know, she's not as self-confident as she would like you to believe. And then, of course, Nate's just always making trouble. We've got lots of these kind of personalities in schools all over the world.
We do, and of course, Simon died, but that's not the worst thing.
No.
Worse things are yet to come. An anonymous source starts sending out emails from Simon's gossip app claiming to have killed Simon. So if you're anonymous, nobody knows who you are. You don't have a name. Anonymous without a name. Unknown. It's an unknown source, and this person, could be a boy, could be a girl, is sending out emails from that app, okay? And this person says, hey, I'm the one who killed Simon, although they don't say their name.
Right. So what's more, this unknown writer implies they were in detention with him that day. So it sounds like it's one of these characters we've been introducing. If you imply something, you don't say it directly, but you kind of hint or give hints to people about it so they can kind of guess what you're trying to say. Well, here this anonymous writer or unknown writer says, hey, I was with you guys in detention that day. Which one of these people we've talked about do you think is the murderer?
Right, so according to this anonymous email, one of the other 4 students could be the killer, but that's just according to this person. We don't know the truth yet. Now, looking at the next paragraph here, it says, the police begin an investigation and discover an unpublished post on Simon's profile. So, of course, the police will get involved with the murder. They're going to find out who done it. They're going to try to get to the bottom of this particular crime and find the guilty person and give them We'll send them to jail and they'll be tried for murder and stuff like that. So they begin an investigation, or they investigate the crime, and they find some evidence here. They find an unpublished post. It wasn't posted on the profile, and this post discloses secrets about all 4 suspects, alleging Bronwyn cheated on her chemistry tests and that Cooper has been using performance-enhancing drugs. Those are things that these students, of course, probably don't want other people to know about. If you disclose something, you reveal some information, especially if that information is kind of secret and people don't want other people to know about it.
Yeah, if you allege something, you kind of say something is true or false, but you don't have evidence. So it looks like Simon was going to post some bad things about these folks. So they all have motives to kill him. Performance enhancing. Notice enhancing, or to enhance, is one of our vocab words. It just means to increase or intensify the effect of something. It can improve the quality, the value of something. Here it's making those drugs even more potent or effective. So he's been using performance-enhancing drugs, which means they're talking about steroids, 类固醇, to make his muscles stronger so that he can perform better. So what's more, it also claims Addie, the girl, cheated on her boyfriend Jake with one of his friends. That's not good. Well, Nate deals drugs around Bayview. Nate is a drug dealer. That could get you a long time in prison if the police catch you.
Yep, he's a troublemaker, so it's no surprise that he's selling drugs around the high school. This gives each student a motive for committing the murder. Killing Simon would prevent the rumors going public and ruining their lives and potentially their entire futures. So yes, indeed, these people have a motive here. If they kill Simon, then Simon won't be able to post that post on his app there, revealing their secrets here. So, of course, they don't want other people to know about these things. I don't want people to know that I cheated on my boyfriend, and I don't want people to know that I deal drugs.
This gives each student a motive. If you have a motive, you have a reason for doing something. It could be good, it could be bad. Motive just means you have a reason. I had a motive for helping my brother last night because I wanted him to lend his car to me. So most people have motives for doing something. Now here we're talking about a motive for committing the murder. If you commit something, we often use this verb to talk about commit murder, commit suicide. Maybe you commit a crime. You commit some sort of immoral act like adultery. So you're carrying out something, and we often use it with specific things. You just have to get to know those over time. So, yeah, they each had a motive for killing him because they would want to prevent the rumors that he wanted to send out or post publicly. And that would ruin or destroy their lives and potentially their entire futures. Potentially is just an adverb we use to describe something that's likely to happen in the future, and that really could ruin their futures.
And that's not something they would like to happen. Moving on now to the next paragraph here. It says, then the mysterious person behind the emails publishes Simon's post revealing the rumors. Now, remember, the police know about this post, but it has not been posted yet, or it hasn't been published. So suddenly, the mysterious person behind the emails, the one who is responsible for those emails, publishes Simon's post. Here it is, and everybody can see it, and that is to reveal the rumors. So that reveals the rumors, and now people in the school can see the information in that post. And, of course, Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, and Nate are now the center of attention as even their friends start to wonder, did they do it? So, yes, that email is incriminating. It makes them look guilty. So all the other classmates in the school wonder, maybe they did commit the crime. Did they do it, or did one of them do it?
Yeah, and it says the rumor spreads, or as the rumor spreads, meaning lots of more people hear about this, the media gets involved. So newspapers, television stations, radio stations, they want to report on this because it's really, it's a kind of an amazing kind of scandalous murder. The four suspects become front page news. We'll often use this term to talk about people who are in the news, maybe for good things or bad things, but everyone's talking about them. They're front page news. You don't have to be in the newspaper on the front page. You're just talked about in media. Now, the exposure or being exposed or being revealed and the police investigation force the four of them together. They kind of have to work together, I guess, to protect each other, or at least try to protect themselves. Not one of them fully trust the others. I wouldn't either. They all sound very untrustworthy. But they all trust the police even less. Yeah, the police can put you in prison. So they're more willing, I guess, to cooperate with a possible criminal than the police.
This plot sounds similar to Murder on the Orient Express, but that's another story that we'll talk about some other time. But that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
那其他四位学生呢？其他四位学生就是 Bronwyn， 还有 Cooper， 还有 Addie， 还有 Nat。那这四位学生当时在现场都相当的震惊。 可是更糟糕的事情还在后头。他说有一个匿名消息人士啊，开始从 Simon 八卦应用程式里面发送电子邮件，然后他就宣称他杀死了 Simon。除此之外呢，这个不知名的作者还暗示说，他那一天跟 Simon 有一起留校哦，也就是看起来这个 email 是剩下来的4名学生，其中的一个人可能是 Bronwyn、Cooper、Eddie 或者是 Nat， 到底谁是凶手？所以警方就开始调查啦。警方开始调查 Simon 的个人档案的时候，发现他在这个八卦程式上有一个没有发布的一个贴文，一个 post。在这个贴文里面，居然揭露了其他的4名嫌疑犯的秘密。他说 Bronwyn 在化学考试当中作弊， Cooper 一直有用一些提升表现的药物。不过第二段的第2句我们先看一下。首先呢，我们看到一个分词构句，2个动词，然后第2个动词做简化。第一个动词是 discloses， 就是揭发秘密的揭发，逗点之后揭发秘密，同时就是宣称有哪些事情嘛，所以逗点之后的宣称，我们现在不是看到的不是 claim， 而是 allege。 这个 allege 呢，原本应该是 and alleges， 不过因为揭发秘密的同时就是揭露了一些事情，所以 alleging 我们看到的是动词 ing， 这是简化，句子的简化，就是所谓的分词构句。那么揭发什么事呢？这句还有另外一个重点，就是揭露2件事，因为这2件事情都用完整的句子，也就是主词动词加主词动词这样子的句子结构来呈现。那么第一个连接词的 that alleging that Bronwyn blah 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 到 tests， 这个第一个连接词 that 是可以省略的，可是揭发的第2件事情 and that 这个连接词就不能省略咯。如果连接词省略的话，会造成读者对于整句话文意的混淆，所以这个部分要特别小心。我们在讲的是及物动词后面如果出现2个完整子句当成它的受词，第2个受词第2个句子前面的 that 连接词是不可以省略的。好，那么接下来这个信啊，还声称 Eddie 跟她的男朋友 Jack 其中的一个朋友还劈腿，然后 Nat 呢，则是在湾景高中附近有贩毒的一个行为。好，所以我们看一下第2段第3句，这里特别注意一下后面逗点之后的 while， 在这里不是 when 哦，而是连接词然而，表示另外一件事情，另外一个对比对照，另外然而谁又如何如何，它是切入另外一件事情。好，所以在这样子的一个声称之下，其实4位剩下还活着的学生都好像有谋杀的动机，也就是如果任何其中一个人杀死 Simon 的话，都可以防止谣言公开，可以防止这个谣言被公开，然后毁了生活，甚至有可能是全部的未来。 OK， 所以呢，电子邮件后来其实还是被发布出来了，这发布的同时当然就揭露了谣言。我们看一下第3段，那当然 Bronwyn、Cooper、Eddie、Nat 现在就成为关注焦点啦，因为他们连自己的朋友都怀疑到底是不是真的人是他杀的吗？不过接下来的第3句看到当谣言传播，或者是因为谣言一直散播，媒体也介入了，然后4位嫌疑犯都成为头版新闻了，所以4个人完全彼此不信任，也不信任警察，到底该怎么办呢？明天继续准时收听。
That is it for today's lesson, but we still need to summarize the plot of our featured novel, One of Us is Lying, so I suggest that you join us again next time to continue to find out what happens. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.